How's it going, everyone? King Blacktooth here, and let's do a little change to the planned video that I was going to do. And due to some new information which has come out, I'm going to do a little speculation and a little discussion with you based on some of the changes to Gwent based upon like the cards and the way they kind of look, as well as some of the text and generally the overall change to some of the naming conventions which Gwent has been given. So we're not talking about like drawing cards from your deck to your hand, that type of thing, but just the naming conventions and the overall system they seem to be changing for designated cards and stuff, and what that could mean as well. So in the stress test we saw that a lot of the cards now, pretty much all of them, have been given the designation bronze card, silver and gold, and this obviously follows on with troops, characters and heroes, and they probably have the same limitations as those, but most people didn't really care about that. It was just a weird distinction, possibly to make it more understandable for other people. But now we had some extra pictures released to us, and it seems that special cards are also getting a bronze, silver and gold designation to them. So that means that you can probably have certain amounts of special cards, like bronze you can have more of them, you know, and silver and gold you can have less of them, but they're more powerful, which is really interesting. And in the stress test we noticed as a community that the decks had 25 cards in. There were pre-made decks of 25 cards, and so we thought, due to the old rules, that they can only have a maximum of 3 special cards then, because it was 22 unit limit and 3 special cards to make up the 25. But that was clearly wrong, because you could have, like, I think for the Northern Round, 3 epidemics, 3 scorches, 3 promotions. So they had like 9. So the deck limit didn't seem to work, and everyone again just passed it off as being okay. They're breaking the rules a little bit for this little stress test. However, because of these special cards, which are now fitting into the bronze, silver and gold area, the speculation is that they've changed the way the deck building limit is being worked. So instead of having a minimum unit size of 22 and you can have a maximum of 10 special cards, they're simplifying it a bit. That is a bit of a mouthful. So they're simplifying it into a certain limit of bronze, a certain limit of silver and a certain limit of gold. That's it. Okay, so you could potentially have gold slots, so hero slots or whatever, for characters, units that are gold, and special cards which are gold. And that's a big deal. That means that special cards take up gold slots. I'm going to have to stop calling it hero because it doesn't matter. And that's probably another reason why they changed it to bronze, silver and gold. Because now special cards are in there, heroes doesn't work, and characters doesn't work. Okay, but it means that you have to, if you want a powerful special card, here's an example: Aeromancy. Play a fog, rain or frost. You get a choice out of all 3. Really powerful, but it is a silver card. Okay, so it's going to take a silver card slot, as opposed to having like the prize winning cow and Sarah and other really good character silver cards. You've got this Aeromancy, which will take a slot as well, and it's up to you whether you want it. Do you want to build a deck which has a nice bit of flexibility there? You know, there might be characters that could actually do that anyway. So here's another example. We've got this Warcry special card, which is a neutral bronze card, meaning that you most likely can have 3 of these in your deck. You know, that's normally how bronze cards work. And it's double the strength of all non-gold unit cards on the battlefield that are wounded. Now, I don't know what wounded means. My first impression is anything that's been medicked. Okay, so again, it doesn't seem like it uses a glyph slot. So if that's still a thing, because everything's fucking changing now, if it's still a thing, that means you could double the strength of a medicked unit with this card, and then you could double its strength again with the Alchemist, possibly. You could double its strength again with the Commander's Horns, possibly. You know, they're bringing in things, but I kind of like the whole bringing the special cards into the bronze, silver, gold, so it's more of a competitive nature when you're thinking about these, and that means they can give really strong special cards that are gold, perhaps, that do something really good, but you can only have 1 of them in your deck, and it also takes a golden slot that a hero would take, you know? I really like that. The next thing would be that a lot of the unit cards that we saw in the stress test no longer have an icon anymore. Okay, they just completely got rid of all the icons. Now, one thing that I thought, we saw an image of, I believe it was Siri dashing, and she had an icon which is a flame, which didn't really fit into what the ability was at the time, and a lot of people thought that was really weird. Now, I've seen several images that have the same flame icon, so my thought process there is that during the stress test they didn't want to have to bring the icons in and worry about all that, so they just took them all off, and you know, that's a placeholder, and all the other flame icons are placeholders, which is fair enough, because I believe the way the game works when building icons is that the card is there, and the icons and the strength and the row is a separate entity that get placed on the card. It's not like they build the card and it's a flat image and it's already set on there. I think it's like an extra bit that's added onto the card, I think. So a lot of the cards don't have abilities. Now, either that's because they didn't want to have the icons on there that were confusing to people, and they're still changing all the abilities, so it's a bit, there's no point in having to take them all off, and they'll worry about that later. Or they've decided not to put the abilities on the front of the card, and you have to read the card to get more information. Now, I don't know which one I prefer. It looks like all special cards have this lightning bolt icon. Again, that could just be a placeholder for all special cards, and we could see a change later. But to be honest, the question was, Epidemic had like a beetle, and Scorch had a skull icon. I think everyone can agree that the icons for abilities started to get a bit bloated. They weren't always very clear anyway. Yavin had some sort of eye with a sword through it. Dijkstra had an eye, and so many spy effects, and muster bond and muster promote, and there was just tons of variations, which really meant you had to look at the abilities anyway. So it really wasn't a big deal. But so I think they might be doing away with that on the front of the card and having to make you read the card in order to know what it does. And I'd like to hear your ideas on that, whether you actually think that's a good idea, or whether you'd still like an icon that demonstrates what they do at first glance, so you can get an idea of what they do and then read it. But again, if you know what the card does because you read it before, you don't need the icon there to tell you what it does again, because you see the Wild Hunt Rider and you know, okay, it's a muster card. You see the Wild Hunt Warrior and you know it's a form of empower card, So I think they might be trying to do away with more icons and just stick to special cards having a lightning bolt icon, because you don't need the rest. If you know what a Scorch does, you know what a Scorch does, So on the whole, they seem to be trying to simplify the game, make it less complicated with icons being thrown around, and the convention of bronze, silver, gold rather than troop, character and hero, which is fine. It's just going to get a bit I'm going to have to get a bit used to it, because I've been calling them character, hero and troop for a long time. It's made my tutorials obsolete, but I don't blame them one bit. If they making a better game is a lot better than someone who's making tutorials before the game's even out. So, I'll just have to re-update them, re-upload them and stuff, But I can't really do that because I don't know where they're going with the whole system yet. So I'm going to put that on hold for a moment and just concentrate on, doing videos and analysing stuff. So yeah, let me know what you think about the changes which seem to be happening. And I'll see you soon for another video. Thanks, guys. Take care of yourselves.